Hello dear students. In the financial accounting, we have seen the process of accounting. First we'll write journal entries, then we'll transfer this into ledger. After ledger we'll go to the trial balance. Let me discuss today about the trial balance. What is this trial balance? All the ledger transactions we have to post it in a statement. That statement is called as trial balance. It is not an account. All the transactions will just simply transfer from journal entries to ledger to trial balance. Trial balance, why do we prepare this trial balance? To know the accuracy of the accountancy, we'll prepare this trial balance. In trial balance, we'll have debit and credit. Both the columns should tally. Whenever it is tallying in the sense, both the sides it should be same. Debit amount, whatever we are getting total, and the total credit amount, it should tally. It should be equal. Then we can say the accuracy of the accountancy is there. The accounts are prepared properly. And if there is any difference, definitely there might have been something happened, like it may be error or mistake or conceiving the facts or deceiving or manipulation, anything is possible. So that's the reason we prepare always trial balance. Trial balance is not a account, it's a statement. So we'll go to the trial balance. How do we prepare this trial balance? Please remember simple rule for trial balance. Trial balance will have two transactions, debit side and credit side. So what do we write on the debit side? Please remember this. Debit side will write all the expenses, losses. Expenses, losses and assets. And the credit side will write all incomes, gains and liabilities. Based on this rule, we'll prepare trial balance. Remember, simple rule. Debit side, what do we write? All expenses and losses, assets. Credit side, incomes, gains and liabilities. On this basis we can prepare. There are two types of format of trial balance. Some people will prepare trial balance like this: particulars, debit amount and credit amount. It goes very lengthy. So that's the reason. Second format I'll follow always. This format is comfortable. Trial balance, what is the format? We are writing particulars, amount, particulars, amount, debit side amount, credit side amount. And when we post all the transactions, debit side transactions here, amount will write, credit side transactions here and credit side amount. It should tally at the end. If it is not tallying, temporarily we'll write the amount into the suspense account. We'll transfer that difference into the suspense account. It is only temporary. Because to balance the accounts, to get the accuracy and to know the profits or losses, to complete the accounts, will transfer temporarily to suspense account. Later we'll come to know that what it is and all these things. Now let us see how we can prepare it. Now I've taken few transactions. Based on the principle, debit expenses, losses, assets. Credit incomes, gains and liabilities. Based on this, each and every transaction, decide it what it is, then post it either debit side or credit side. See, capital. Capital is a liability. All the liabilities will be on the credit side. So we'll write capital, credit side 4,250. Next, drawings. Drawings is a expenses. The expenses will be on the debit side. Drawing 710. Next, plant and machinery. Plant and machinery is a asset. All the assets, debit side. Plant and machinery 950. Then furniture. Furniture is also asset. Asset should be on the debit side. Stay along with me, it will be easy for you. 1460. Purchases. When we are purchasing anything, it's an expenses. All the expenses, debit side. So purchases, debit side. 10,362. Sales. Whenever you are selling, it's an income. All the incomes will be on the credit side. So sales 11,906. Then sales returns. We have sales on the credit side. Sales returns, they are returning us. When they are returning, that should be cancelled. So it will be always opposite. Sales credit side, sales returns debit side. Purchases debit, purchase returns credit. Cancellation purpose, we'll write it on the opposite side. Simply you can remember like this. So sales returns are 210, sales credit, sales returns debit. Sales returns 210. Purchase returns. Purchases debit side we have written. Cancellation returns will be on the credit side. Purchase returns 291. General expenses. Expenses debit side. So general expenses 440. Rent. Rent is an expenses. So debit side. Rent 120. Rates. Rates is also it's a expenses. Debit side 200. Next, interest received. We are receiving interest, income. Income will be on the credit side. Interest received, how much? 80 rupees. Bank overdraft. Bank overdraft means more than the balance. If we are withdrawing from the bank, that is overdraft. Means it's a loan. Suppose in my bank account amount is 10,000 balance amount. I have withdrawn 12,000. Extra 2,000 is overdraft. It's a liability. So all the liabilities will be on the credit side. So bank overdraft 240. Overdraft 240. Next, bad debts. Bad debts means whenever we are selling goods on a credit basis, if the purchaser is not returning the amount, that is bad debts. Loss. It's a loss. I have sold goods on credit basis, but the person is not returning. It's bad debts. Bad debts means it's a loss. All the losses will be on the debit side. So I'll write it on the debit side. Bad debts 172. Next, debtors. Debtors means whenever you are selling goods on credit basis, to whom you are selling, they are debtors. You are selling to someone, they are debtors. Means future we are going to get amount now. So that's the reason we call it as asset. Debtors will be always, we call it as assets. Future we are going to get the amount. So all the assets debit side. So I'll write debtors on the debit side 4,200. Next, creditors. Creditors, whenever we purchase goods on credit basis, that's called as creditors. From whom we are purchasing goods on credit basis, they are creditors. Means future we have to pay to the amount to the creditors. So that's a liability. Creditors always will show it in the liability column because it's a credit purchases. Future you have to pay. So creditors are liability. We are going to pay. We have to pay. Liabilities will be on the credit side. So creditors. Creditors are 2,000. Next, cash in hand. We have cash in hand. That's an asset. Cash in hand, debit side. How much? 480. And last amount, dividend received. We are receiving dividend, income. All the incomes will be on the credit side. $105. Posted all the transactions. Just total up. If you total it, both the sides amount should be equal. If it is not equal, the difference amount will transfer it or will say it as suspense account. Now if you total up, you are going to get an amount of 18,872. 18,872 both the sides. Both the totals are equal. Equal means the problem is correct. There is no difference at all, and there is no kind of errors or mistakes. Something is not happened. All the transactions are true and fair. So that's the reason we prepare always trial balance after the ledger journals and ledgers. Hope this account is very clear. Sorry, Hope this trial balance is very clear for you, and in the coming days I am going to come up with a lot of topics, and I already started in this channel Devika's Commerce and Management Academy. I have started financial accounting, human resource, that is another one is that business law, and statistics already started. In the coming days I am going to start HR related, marketing related subjects also. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe for more subject related videos. Stay tuned with me. Do subscribe this channel to all your friends. Any kind of doubts you can mention in the downside of the video. Thank you all. Wish you good luck.